Okay, so today we're diving into a place that tells not one, but two incredible stories. The story of a mighty empire and the story of a modern republic. Yep, we're talking about India's magnificent Red Fort. And it raises this really fascinating question, right? How on earth does a 17th century palace become the main stage for a modern democracy? Well, to get the answer, we've got to take a journey through centuries of power, rebellion, and total reinvention. You see, every single year on Indian Independence Day, that's August 15th, the Prime Minister of India stands right here, hoists the national flag, and addresses the entire country. It's this incredibly powerful tradition that links the fort's imperial past right to its present-day role as a symbol of freedom. But to really get why, we need to go all the way back to the beginning. All right, let's jump in our time machine and head back to the 17th century, right at the height of the Mughal Empire. This story doesn't kick off with a president or a prime minister. Nope. It starts with an emperor who had a vision for something absolutely spectacular. And that emperor? None other than Shah Jahan. Now, if that name is ringing a bell, it totally should. This is the same guy, the architectural genius, who gave the world the Taj Mahal. So you can just imagine when he decided to start a new project, you just knew it was going to be epic. So Shah Jahan's big vision kicked off with two massive moves. First, in 1648, he decides to move the entire capital of his huge empire from Agra to Delhi. I mean, this wasn't just packing up boxes, this was a major statement. And what do you put at the center of your brand new capital? You build a palace fortress so magnificent it would make the rest of the world totally jealous. And you can bet a project this huge wasn't built overnight. We're talking about nearly 10 years of non-stop work to get this thing finished. Once it was done, it became the absolute nerve center for, well, everything. All the politics, all the culture of the Mughal Empire. So, after a whole decade of imperial construction, what did they end up with? A true architectural masterpiece, a fortress that got its whole identity from the very stone it was built with. It's called the Red Fort for a pretty obvious reason. Its most striking feature is these massive, imposing walls made of this beautiful red sandstone. It's what gives the fort its iconic, powerful look, which, of course, was exactly the point. It was designed to project strength all across the empire. And the sheer scale is just wow. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around. Those defensive walls go on for almost 2.5 kilometers. This thing wasn't just a palace, it was basically a self-contained, fortified city. The whole point was for it to be this unbreakable symbol of Mughal might. And what's really cool is how the inside of the fort was laid out. It perfectly mirrored how the Mughals actually ruled. You had two main halls. First, the Diwani-Am, the hall of public audience. This is where the emperor would meet with the general public. But the real deals, the big decisions, they happened in the Diwani-Khas, the hall of private audience. That was the exclusive spot for meeting with high-ranking nobles and dignitaries. This whole separation of public face and private power, that was key to how the entire empire worked. But hey, it wasn't all just serious business and big walls. Beyond being a fortress, this place was a literal paradise. The complex had private palaces for the emperor and his family, these beautiful, lush gardens with cooling water channels running through them, and you'd enter through these stunning gates like the famous Lahore Gate. And here's what makes the architecture so incredible. It's not just one thing. It's this brilliant fusion of styles. You've got the classic arches and domes from Persian and Islamic design, but they're blended perfectly with traditional Indian patterns and craftsmanship. It's like the Mughal Empire's cultural melting pot turned into a building. So, for 200 years, this place, this architectural wonder, it wasn't just some building. No way. It was the absolute beating heart of one of the most powerful empires on the planet. Okay, this timeline really helps put its whole journey into perspective. So it's finished around 1658, and for a long time, it's the center of the universe for the empire. Then by 1857, the Mughal era is fading and that royal role kind of fizzles out. But then, and this is the big turn, a brand new chapter starts in 1947. that's when it cements its place in a new India. And that path eventually leads to it being named a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2007. What a ride. So yeah, for nearly 200 years, this was the spot. Simple as that. If you were a Mughal emperor, this was your house. If a big political meeting was going down, a royal wedding, a huge cultural festival, you name it, it happened right here, inside these red walls. But, empires don't last forever. History keeps rolling on. And this is where the fort story takes its most amazing turn. This is where it goes from being a home for emperors to being a symbol for an entire nation. And that brings us right back to the question we started with. Why this place? Well, it's because the Red Fort captures the whole journey of a nation. It went from being the throne of an emperor to becoming a symbol of the people. It was reclaimed, And now it stands as this powerful reminder of India's hard-won freedom and its unity. There's a quote that just nails it, really. It says, "The Red Fort is so much more than just some historical building. It represents the rich heritage, architectural brilliance, and political history of India." I mean, that's everything, right? It's all of that, rolled into one. So that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Think about it. From the quiet whispers of Mughal court politics to the massive, roaring crowds celebrating independence, these walls have seen everything. It just makes you wonder, if they could actually talk, what stories would they tell us about an empire's glory and a republic's birth?